the race, beginning of the season.
The big one to open things up, yeah. So, leaving the top then, Cesar Provost. Good qualifier for him.
Yeah, it's good to see him make it into the top 15.
That's right.
This is that section that we're really going to be looking out for. So our key section starts right here at the top of these Bagacha stairs.
And look at these. These are the most daunting. If you know, to me, this is the wildest thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can see like it gets out of control, and if you mess up at all, you're going into the wall or going into the railing.
And now onto a hot tin roof and like a ladder out there, really, really steep. Saw some crashes there last year. Into the blue house, safely out of there.
And in qualifying, we saw a lot of time being made up in this split two. So split one finishes right before you go into the house, and split two was kind of where the top riders really separated themselves.
Into this right-hander, that's another part of the track that will definitely play its part. Looks relatively innocuous, but we saw many crashes there.
Yeah, last year it
did.
was.
And it's hard, Elliot, isn't it? Because I don't know about what you think, and you have raced here. Clearly, I haven't. But you do get a feel for traction in dirt. I feel like it's a lot less on tarmac, on concrete, and once it goes, it can be difficult to save it.
Right, and I think you see, what you're going to see the riders do is try to, I call it like kind of locking in, get their lean at the beginning of the turn, and then try not to move around. So you'll see them lean the bike a lot, try to stay right on top so their weight's going through that outside pedal straight down. And because any kind of movement it can go. And one thing that I think a lot of people don't really realize is that the condition of the asphalt and the concrete can change. Whoa. You can see it right there. You know, that is kind of a line that we've seen going out to that curve, trying to find something to turn off, because that is one of the slipperiest parts of the track.
And nearly 60 kilometers an hour through the speed trap. It's my first time on site here, actually. I've commentated on it remotely a couple of times. I could not believe how steep this hillside is. Yeah. It's so steep, which is what generates these high speeds. But you still got to pedal along this big run into the finish. It does get physical, this track. Thankfully, at sea level here. Last drop then for Cesar Provost from Chile here. He takes the lead, of course. That 2:25, the benchmark.
Taking
first man down.
3 seconds off of his qualifier there, so definitely going to look for the times to come down over the course of the day. Happy with it.
Borba, the fastest qualifier with a 2:19.6, so a long way to go on this clock here.
Yeah, and there's those Bagacha stairs. You can see he's on the trail bike, and so this is where that's going to play their part. You'll see a lot of the riders, you know, Cesar there, he was jumping to flat. I think a lot of the riders you'll see are going to be trying to downside, and he goes out to the curb right here. So you can see that he kind of did that on purpose because he wanted to late brake. But he did lose a lot of exit speed. We call it the MotoGP section because it is all about exit speed.
He's almost spinning it up, trying to pedal away there that turn. But yeah, definitely would have lost a little bit of time there. Okay, back to the top. 14 to go now. Gonzalo Gazdasek next to drop then. 14th in qualifying. Straight out of the hut, straight into a flight of stairs. Very difficult first couple of turns there. And sprinting headlong, you maniac, into the Bagacha staircase.
I know, like you heard Laurent say it, 40, 50K down here. And there's those doubles. That's what we're going to be looking for. Key section ends right at the bottom. So our key section is literally from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs. The house. On the right-hand side, we see the sector map. So green is where they've been, yellow is where they are, white is where they're going to be. Really sprinting hard. Make that jump.
Over there, yeah. From Argentina, a 10th here last year, actually. On the enduro bike last year. So switching things up to a downhill bike, that's interesting to me. A downhill bike, a general, very general rule of thumb is that the downhill bike is expected 3.5 up then. But that split there then, so definitely on the move, the Argentinian. But isn't it right, Elliot, that a downhill bike is going to be better at up the top, really, through Bagacha's stairs. You'd imagine it carries more speed. It's definitely easier to ride.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to feel a lot safer.
For sure,
I'm not sure it is quicker, really, but then down here, you know, if you can hang on to an enduro bike up there. But down here on the pedaling, surely the enduro bike, the shorter travel bike, has to be more advantageous.
One of the things that we don't really think about a lot is you can actually take a little bit more corner speed on the downhill bike. So even though you can pedal and you'll, you know, if you need to pump, obviously a trail bike is going to be faster.
Oh! Wow!
That's that turn.
Yep, it is.
And, you know, that is kind of what you're messing with there. You have to take a lot of risk.
2.7 up. He was on a great run as well to keep it green.
We're going to see more and more mistakes there, I think, because that section and that turn, the exit, is what carries your speed all the way down to the finish.
And that's right, and that advantage may be gone. A lowly 52 kilometers an hour through the speed trap, as you said earlier. He's going to be losing time all the way down to the line now.
That's right.
Let's see if he's still green when he crosses it. Caesar Provost leading for the home nation at the moment. Gazdacek does take the lead then. 2.1 into the green, a 2:23.
And we almost saw exactly what you were talking about, Rob. I mean, made up, you know, 3 seconds to the end of split 2 and then lost about a second and a half at the bottom there. So here's that key section, really nice.
Turning on the stairs, I noticed. Not nice
so
to do.
Close.
Yeah.
So close. And you have to brake on that sheet metal like you were saying. It's really, really steep and slow coming into the house. Steez. No
Beautifully
problem.
over there.
And here's that mistake. It just waits to brake. And that was exactly what we were talking about in the pre-show. Where that crack is, the surface completely changes. It undulates a little bit off camber, leading toward the outside, and yeah, just lost a little bit of traction there.
Well, a lot of fans here as ever. Gazdacek takes his spot in the hot seat.
Yeah, what a cool race.
It's a brilliant race. Mateus Nunes now, 13th in qualifying. An aggressive start. You won't expect anything else here this afternoon from any of these riders, believe me. Gets hard on the pedals again as he heads into the Bugatti stairs.
Here we go. We saw it. He used those stairs actually to let his back end slide out around that turn. It's on purpose. You know, street racing specific techniques coming out more and more.
2 times a winner of the Manizales Urban Downhill, so knows a thing or two about going fast in concrete. Yeah, back at split number 1 by over a second now. Oh, almost sliding as he pedaled there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, as the day goes on, kind of all the oils and things like that come out on the tarmac.
Yeah.
And so it gets slipperier and slipperier. See him shifting down. You saw him pick that shift down because it gets a lot tighter here. You're in almost top gear as you come out of that.
Well, if it all goes wrong, he can almost pedal home to Vina Del Mar just along the coast. Pulls that gap back. 0.35 now then. Out of the Bismarck Square. Oh, look at the fans, all trying to get a shot of these heroes. And into the MotoGP section he comes. Fast around that right-hander, so steep this section here.
Oh, comes into that wall ride really high, went down, got it kind of kicked off of it.
He used every inch of the tarmac there.
Let's see how he does.
Let it roll down here. You've got to be so careful on the brakes, Elliot, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're really looking at is when do they brake and when do they let off.
Sets up perfectly, carried a lot of speed through there. Really good.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Got a foot out. So the next split, is it going to be green? Yes, it is by 1.6 now. So Nunes showing us what he can do.
And that's all that left-hand turn. It's so easy to make a mistake there. He's got to pedal and bring it home to the finish, though. It's not over.
On the downhill bike as well, this man. Big sprint home now, nearly there. Sitting down. Must be feeling the pace.
You're pedaling here. You're so gassed at the bottom of this track.
Perfectly on the landing ramp, and he goes fastest. 2:20.9. 2.5 seconds, just over. Into the green. New leader at Red Bull Valparaiso, Cerro Abajo.
Oh, what a great run. We're starting to kind of get the characteristics of this track. You can, like we were talking about, that first left-hand turn, you really have to take a lot of risk in those Bugatti stairs. Nunes come down through here. See, he lost some time. Anytime you see red below that line, that means he's losing time, and then he just gained time. So that's exactly what we were saying, where that one mistake cost him time all the way to the finish.
Absolutely.
That key section, the gotcha stairs, I think is going to play a big, big part.
Always does.
That's true.
It was opened up for practice last night. By the end of that 2-hour window, apparently it was a much longer practice session than they usually get.
You don't want to ride it too
Well,
much.
no, that's what I heard. And apparently 4 people were delivered to the local hospital.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, apparently so. It was serious last night on the
Wow.
Bagatta stairs, that very, very first practice. Okay, 12 to go. And it's going to be Phil Atwill from the UK, now residing in Athens, Greece. Second time here at Red Bull Valparaiso. He's a glutton for punishment, this man. And he's on the short travel enduro bike. So let's see what he can bring on that.
Yeah, one of the most technically gifted riders you'll see. Can ride anything.
No question about that, no.
It's not scared either.
And he is not, no, that's right.
Pre-hopping into that, trying to get as much backside as he can, especially on that trail bike.
Well, actually finding them almost perfectly. Look to me down there, and up by 0.4. Thomas Slavic telling me there's 5 big pulls on that staircase.
That's right.
5 big gaps to get it right.
And there's actually a deliberate case that you do. You can almost, it's almost like a supercross section where you case and then double into that last big, big bit.
Atwill on the pedals ever so early, a lot out of that turn there. Bike was still well cranked over.
This is definitely where we're gonna see him try to make up the time. Be smooth and be in touch on the technical bits and then lay down the pedals wherever you can.
And he's super fit, we know that as well. 2 World Cup podiums, downhill podiums in his long career, this man.
And there he goes. Still 0.1, still, sorry, 0.3 up.
So, keeping it about the same, but now he's the smaller travel bike.
He's been doing this line every year.
He did it last year.
He did.
Thought it was a mistake.
I thought it was a mistake too.
Maybe it's not. Oh, hard onto the wall ride. Picks it up off there, perfect again. More pedals down this road. But, you know, to me, the enduro bike should be quicker down here. Thomas Slavic, we know if he's in touch at the first couple of splits, then everyone's in trouble once he comes down onto this MotoGP section. And that big long pedal in, that will having to grab a bit of back brake there.
Yeah, and he goes over the curve, which I like a lot more, allowing his speed to kind of come out, but he does lose some time.
Yeah, he's gone red now.
And you can see the speed as well. On Speed Shop, you saw 57 earlier, only 54 for Atwill. Looking to me like that left-hand turn is going to be one of the most crucial sections of the track.
Yeah, through the container then, and not pedaling down there, showing just how blown these riders are, unless he doesn't want any more speed for that last right-hander. Second place, losing time, interesting on that bike then, with a 0.7 off at the bottom.
Yeah, even though it feels like it's one of those classic trade-offs where the riders are late braking, which is why they're going out to that curb, and it makes you feel good because you're coming into the turn so hot, but you give up so much along the rest of the track into the Bagatta stairs. So ironically, you know, almost the opposite of what we've been saying, Phil having a really good top section, that's the technical bit, and losing all of his time on that last kind of flat pedal where we think the trail bike is going to be better. Here's that that line. He goes off the, it's about, he's got maybe a couple of inches on either side of his handlebars, but he makes it work, so. Valparaiso local.
Almost, that's right. Back to Greece straight from here.
That's right, yeah, get ready for the World Cup season.
That's right. Well, there's your lead at the moment. Mateus Nunes, a 2:20.9, very close actually to Lucas Borba's fastest qualifier, that 2:19, here's Adrian Laurent.
I have a better setup, I think, so it's going to help to make it work, and I just want to be very strong on the pedaling section and keep the path and the rhythm on the technical ones, and I think it's going to work.
32 years old. From Carpentras then, a winner of Red Bull Montserrat, Cerro Abajo. And a man who will lay it all on the line. A big crash here actually last year. Off the hot tin roof, off the red tin roof, that ladder comes in there, slides the back in there.
So nice.
And a massive crash at round 2 when he lost it down the staircase as well.
Yeah, I mean, because when you're on a downhill, like you have the bump stops, you can't actually turn as much as you need to. That's why you're seeing the riders slide the back end out there.
Oh, whistling, using right on the edge there. Oh my goodness me, that's where he crashed last year, safely through there and in and out of the blue house.
And so far, winning our key section of 0.1, and you can see he made up a second. We know he made up 0.1 in the key section, so that means he made up a second just on that left-hand turn off that drop.
Says he's ready this year, fit. A man who's had a silver medal at the Four-Cross World Championships, another brilliant bike rider, a little bit like Phil Atwell, can do everything. Look at him on the very edge of grip there. You can see the back tyre just squirming around.
And yeah, he became such an all-around rider in that Crankworks World Tour, won the King of Crankworks. You know, that's slalom, it's pump track, that's downhill. He can backflip, he can do everything, and so he's now trying his hand at street racing and just excelling.
And just 74 thousandths the advantage then as he heads into this MotoGP section now. Up against the curbs. Oh, case there. Hard on the pedals again, though.
Looks fast.
Yeah, he does.
Like you said, he's one of the most fit riders out here. Interested to see how he takes this left-hand turn.
Sets up for it nicely.
Yeah, gets a really nice braking point in there. I
would say that was smooth and fast. Split 3 now. And the advantage goes back a little bit to the rod. Nearly 60 kilometers an hour, though. That's encouraging for him through the speed trap.
Yeah, and you can see the experience coming into play there. Just pedaling and then sitting down, shifting down a little bit, and now he's just going to lay it all out into the tank coming into the finish.
Stood up pedaling. He hasn't sat down yet. Now he does. But crucially getting those early power strip pedals in there. And Adrian Long, what's it going to be, red or green? He goes fastest by nearly half a second. 2:20.4, he's happy with that. Great run from Adrian Laurent, the Frenchman.
Yeah, what a nice run there. Laurent, really just a consistent, experienced run. I think that we didn't see him get out of shape anywhere. You know, almost, I guess, made that same mistake that we saw last year. But just easily making his way down this key section, the Bagacha stairs. And there's that deliberate case I was talking about right there.
Yeah, just to slow things down. And, oh my goodness me. When the bike starts sliding on stairs, it's pretty difficult to get it back. Ten riders left to go. Just joined us. Red Bull Cerro Abajo from Valparaiso, the first of 3 races this year in Guanajuato, Mexico.
Actually bottomed out right in the middle of that wall ride. That's why you saw him get kicked a little bit.
2:20.4 then, the time to beat. Around half, 0.8 of a second off that fastest qualifier of Luca Borba.
Yeah, and that would have put him almost in the top 3 in qualifying. So we can see the times are definitely coming down. Still not faster than that 1:19 that we saw Borba get.
I expect the times to come down though, Elliot. I guess riders will avoid the physicality of that big sprint in, perhaps in qualifying. Most of them save it for one big run for this finals run now.
I would think so. I mean, like Borba said, you don't have much time here. You're qualifying the same day. You maybe have a couple hours in between your qualifying run and your finals run. So if you know that if you're going for the win, then you want to save some energy.
Top 3 at the moment then, Phil Atwell.
Nice run from Phil.
From outside London originally, now residing in the sunshine capital of the world that is Greece.
Yeah, he's loving it. I was talking to him about it, and he just said, you know, the culture is great. You know, I wouldn't be anywhere else. Mateus Nunes.
Second at the moment, just knocked off the top spot by Adrian Laron, but it was a brilliant run from him.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, I think for Nunes, you know, it would be great if he could get into the top 10 here.
Yeah.
Put something on the board and have something to work toward and work on for the rest of the season.
But it's Adrian Laron putting that big crash behind him from last year and striking with a great run here in this finals run. 2:20.4 the time to beat.
Yeah,
Man who loves his street racing.
He does.
He loves it. He can't get to South America fast enough, this chap. Look at the bike, just all out of shape there. Well, we actually had some women here as well. Progression session for the women, for Red Bull, to give these women an opportunity to come along, try the track, and hopefully... Okay, we're going to hear from some of them now.
Red race event at Red Bull Valparaiso, Cerro Abajo.
En esta ocasión, en una alianza, desafío Levantemos Chile para cooperar en reconstruir la quinta reclamación. Un aplauso.
You feel comfortable with that, so I'm so happy to get back here and to see that I still can do it.
Yeah, what kind of commitment does it take to actually win the race?
It's so fast. We don't have too much time to practice, so you just need to go. So it's a lot of emotion in that time, but I'm so happy that I'm in one piece. And everything was great, and I could do all the jumps on the track, so it's so sick. And to be with the girls here, it's so amazing. So
it's impressive what you girls do. And Hannah, you came straight from Red Bull Hardline in Tasmania. I imagine the scenery and track and the track were a lot different there. How did you like the track here?
It was really fun. Like you said, completely different, but I really enjoyed it. It was super high intensity, like Lewis said. It's like you have no time to think, really. You just have to go. But it's really cool.
And you're used to a very different terrain. What did it take? Like, how did you have to adjust your riding style in order to be able to ride that track?
Yeah, it's super different. Like, you just don't really have time to think about what you're doing. You have to kind of just trust that it works and go for it.
Perfect. Thanks so much for the interviews and enjoy the rest of the race. Thanks.
Okay, well, apologies if you suffered any audio dropout on there, but amazing to see 6 women here all enjoying themselves. And I don't think it'll be too long before we see one of them put it on the line like we did at Red Bull Hardline a week ago. There's your start list then.
Yes, it was really nice to see Hannah Bergman. You know, she was out in Tasmania. Lua Oliveira has actually competed here the first 10 years that they had the event, and you know, have up-and-comers like Valentina Roa as well.
Okay, Pedro Burns then. From Santiago, listen to the crowd for this man. Expecting a big run from him. Lives about an hour and a half away. On the downhill bike again as he was last year. Spends a lot more time on his enduro bike at the EWS.
Jumps way out off of that. So he lost about a second here to Johannes Fischbach, who's in 5th, just in the key section. So if he can take some risk here, he's on for a good run.
I don't think you can tackle these stairs quickly without taking considerable risk. 0.24 back then. So definitely in touch.
Yeah, definitely going faster than he did in his qualifier in that key section. Only 0.3 behind Laurent there. So we know that Pedro has been training on these urban races, training on little sections here and there in his hometown.
Took him 11th here last year, so just outside the top 10, gets some good pedal strokes in there. Thousands of fans lining the track carefully into that right-hander, carrying good speed through there.
Really nice.
You've got to tiptoe through that turn or it's going to bite you. They're on at 104 as we approach split number 2, and he's back now, bringing the gap down. Just 35 thousandths, nothing in it then.
That bodes well for the bottom of the track. That's pretty much all we see at the bottom is those turns. We have to be really deliberate, really good on the brakes. Pedro just looks like he's just chilling, but it's really just because he's so smooth.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, that's right. Explodes on the pedals again there, though.
right on the edge of traction. You can almost see the bike, almost like a little slip angle like you see in road racing. And this is what we're looking for right here. Gets the brakes, he's gonna go inside. Has to do a little dab on the exit, but that's okay.
26 years old now, losing time there over the second back. Don't think he'll be able to pull that back between here and the bottom, actually. Not when you're talking about Adrien Laurent.
Yeah, especially compared on that trail bike.
Styling it through the whale tail, in and out of the container. And there's only one thing left to do. Bury yourself on this sprint down to the finish line. It's only a mile, this track, but it's an extremely physical one. Then here comes Pedro Burns, big roar from the crowd. He goes for 1.2 back. Super tight racing here in Valparaiso today.
And there's time to be made up everywhere. You can really kind of pick your poison if you want to be fast on the technical bits. But there are a couple of key sections. So here, Pedro is coming down to the gotcha stairs. You see a lot of these South American riders get really, really low on the bike, trying to not go so high. I mean, you're almost jumping to flat everywhere, so the lower you can go, the better. There we go. I think he did a little toboggan here. Yeah,
look at that.
It's all good. Styling it out. So here's what I was talking about. You can see he brakes, but then right at the exit, he gets stood up just a tiny bit.
Adrien Laurent leads.
He's no stranger to the top step of the hot seat.
No, he's not. Former king of Crankworks. He's done some winning in his time. Tess Nunes second. Velocity at will there in third. As we go back to the top, 9 riders left. Alberto Nicolas, 9th in qualifying. So we're into the top 10 then. Pedro Ferreira lining up for his attempt. Just behind this fella. Some kids have invaded the track. Here we go. Into this first difficult couple of turns. Carried good speed through there.
I expect him to be really good. You know, him and his crew just find the gnarliest things they can and just session them almost like a British rider's rut tracks, but it's, you know, finding steep stair sets. So this is where he's going to be really strong, even on this trail bike.
Big crash here in 22, put it right with a fine 8th place last year, also on the Enduro bike.
1.3 up at the top.
Drone giving chase on the tarmac. Look at the angular lean through there. Looked like he nailed that long left-hander to me. Pedaling again, everywhere on the pedals if you want to win this thing this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and you're really trying to get as close to the barriers as you can, you know, outside on the way in, apex, and then outside on the way out.
0.59 back, so take it best part of a second really between splits 1 and 2 back.
Yeah, he hit that right-hander really, really good. And on the pedals everywhere, jumping the flat off of there.
Which means he's carrying speed, I'd imagine.
That's right. I mean, it's a terrifying section.
It's horrible. Super narrow, super
low
gnarly.
on the
Picks it up,
ride.
gets over the front off the wall ride. All good though. The Chilean man still charging on down here. Former national champion in downhill back in 2019. This is so steep, this section of road, when you walk it.
Yeah, and here's the crucial section.
And that was beautiful.
Oh, perfect. You can actually hear him clicking the gears as he's coming out.
And now he closes to just 0.3 back. Good speed through the trap as well.
And the fastest we've seen to... You can see him braking right at the top of that, going as far as he can before he shuts it down.
Into that small tight plaza, then last straight now. So Alberto pushing on down here, pedaling hard all the way to the line. Can he find, he's quick around that last turn, can he find 0.3? What's it gonna be? Goes third, 0.59 then for Alberto Nicolas. Adrien Laurent enjoyed that.
And I wonder if it was actually over that little jump where we saw him break. And,
yeah,
you know, ideally, you're kind of free-hopping or squashing. Really strong run there for Alberto. That's great. He'll be proud of that, I think. So it was really just in that key section he lost so much. I mean, I wonder if that is the trail bike. He does ride the downhill bike a lot, typically at urban races and just in general on the dirt as well. So I wonder if he just wasn't quite comfortable to take the risk on the key section, but everywhere else he was right on the money.
They've just joined us. Red Bull Valparaiso, Cerro Abajo. It's a beautiful day here in Chile. 8 riders left at the top.
Oh, it slipped a little pedal. It looks like.
You might have timed it just right, because the next man is perhaps the most famous street racer of them all.
Famous mountain biker.
One of the most famous mountain bikers on the planet, that's right. Although you associate him much more with concrete and tarmac.
Yeah,
here he is
right,
then.
that's right.
Pedro Ferreira. From Quilpue, about a 20-minute drive away. One of the only riders to sleep in his own bed here. 36 years old now, 1.2 million followers on Instagram, and 2 times a Red Bull Valparaiso winner. Can he do it again?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh. Broke his wrist in the final practice here last year. Bravely battled on through the rest of that series. But Ferreira looking lean and mean this year, like he's been training hard for this. Oh!
Oh!
Has he got a... No, all good.
Oh, wow. I think he just
Stuff.
got off balance and was almost into the wall, almost the whole way down there.
And he's back at split 1.798. In touch though, a second, not impossible for this man.
No, I mean, to the beginning of the key section, he was in the lead, so it was really just that mistake that we saw.
Tucking, getting low where he can. Early on the brakes, holds a good line through there, didn't run too wide.
No.
Some of the trickiest turns on the track, those two.
Yeah, he goes around the turns a little bit more upright than we've seen some of the riders. He's set up wide for that exit. I think he's...
Loses just a fraction more to sector 2 in sector 2. Split number 2. Cleanly onto the down ramp there, holds a tight line through here. Only Atwell so far venturing onto the dirt on the outside.
Yeah, and he's got to get mentally back into this run after that mistake.
Yeah.
Can't let that bother him.
Got to up the intensity. Got to keep it there, start to finish, no matter what goes on.
Good tuck through here. A lot of the times you can't even get pedals that actually faster to tuck after a certain speed.
And riders do have a lot less traction to play with actually on these tarmac sections. Slavic's running 40 PSI in those tyres of his. I'm afraid I don't know what that is in bar, but you know, that's almost double really what you might run in the dirt.
That's right. This is
part of the impact.
And I'm looking at him, I'm wondering actually when he's taking his hand off if he's not adjusting his suspension.
Has he got a lockout on there maybe? Could be. It's not impossible. I've seen him doing it as well. So Pedro Ferreira sprinting down towards the line. Needs to find about a second. It's a tall order then for the man just down the road. Here he goes across the line. He goes outside it. Over 2 seconds into the red. 6th place for Pedro Ferreira.
Yeah, and just a little bit, I think, overcooked a lot of that run after that mistake, just kind of coming into some of the turns a little bit late braking after that mistake. But he was, let's see, right at the very beginning, this first turn was amazing. But here's that mistake that we saw. You could see him, you know, half an inch, and then gets off balance, has to brake, it's thrown over the front. That was really what kind of threw him off, I think, mentally.
He'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed.
Definitely.
I mean, we heard him in the pre-show. He said, you know, why else would I come here except to win?
That's right. Well, smiling at least now he's recovering in the bottom. Running a full downhill bike. Remember, 2 times the winner, that man here, actually. Okay. Just 7 riders to go now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty amazing to see Laurent on such a good run.
From Mendoza in Argentina, Geronimo Paes then. On the brakes hard into this first difficult turn, very easy to overshoot it, carries a good tight line out of it.
And over jumping the stair gaps just a little bit. You can see,
still the fastest in the key section.
Yeah, you can see he's kind of like just jumping to flat. Oh, rather than trying to get the downside, so I'm interested to see how it goes.
Oh, Paes goes fastest by 0.2 then.
It's just that he's going faster than everyone else.
Cares less about his personal safety, right, I think is a big part of that. And 500's up then on the main clock, so it's tight. Oh, letting him run wide there, using all the track, trying to keep that momentum.
Yeah, really getting on the pedals up here. He knows he has a little bit of a rest through this switchback. Stays tight, which is nice.
Some good pedals in the middle of there as well. Split 2 is going to tell us more.
Yeah, this is like a good run so far.
And he's pulled it more time then. Getting on for half a second now ahead of Adrien Laurent, the man in the hot seat at the moment. He's been leading for some time, you have to say.
Yeah, Geronimo is showing us that aggression is actually the key to this track here in Valparaiso.
Whoa. Lifting the wheel with the aggressive pedaling everywhere. The wall ride, no problem for him.
Let's see if he can shut it down a little bit. He's got to use those technical skills, get on the brakes, not overcook it.
Whistling in these turns.
Oh, gets a nice wide line there.
Oh, carried good speed through there on the pedals earlier. And remember, that turn is crucial because he will carry that speed all the way down through here. Lost 0.2, what's his speed gonna tell us?
It's really just hard on the pedals. If he can keep this up all the way to the finish, such a fitness. I mean, maybe it's just that altitude that he's used to being at.
That's true. A lot of those riders do have a bit of an advantage even here at sea level then. So here he comes through the flower shop for Geronimo Paes. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be close. He goes third. Just over half a second out. And Adrien Laurent from France continues to lead.
Yeah, that was a great run. Just a little bit, lost a little bit of that aggression at the end, and also Adrien just really putting down such an amazing last split there. Here's that section that we were talking about. Like we said, Rob, it really like coming off of the last step sideways, so shaving off so much distance as you go into that, and you can just see the bike working underneath him, letting the back end slide around the flat turns. Yeah, that was an amazing key section, amazing top section from Paes. He'll be stoked with that.
Top 3 at the moment then. Adrien Laurent from Mateus Nunes, from Geronimo Paes, the man we just saw. Great run from him.
Only lost in a last section here.
Yep.
So the key section actually made up 0.2.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot.
In around 650 meters of track, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
Incredible.
And so you can see he lost 0.7 in the last split. So it's really like we've been talking about. So 0.7 in 29 seconds. It's really just that, you know, that pedaling.
6 to go. Another man from Chile, from Santiago, around an hour and a half away. Felipe Aguerto, the crowd are going to get behind this man. 6th in qualifying. A 2:23, another rider favouring the downhill bike. Most are today. Remember though, last year's winner, Thomas Slavic, won on a short travel bike and is on one again today.
Yeah, I mean, Felipe's another one of those riders that actually trains on urban stuff. You can see how comfortable he looks coming down these stairs, putting the bike exactly where he wants it to be.
He's accurate down this staircase. Looks perfect. Well, look at that, 0.24 up then. Oh, off the near vertical ladder into the blue house.
Really pushes the pace down that ladder. You could see, he's so stable on the bike. super upright, shaving off as much distance as he can, letting the back end slide where he needs to.
And last year, he made a big mistake at the top and pulled time all the way down. This year, he's green at the top, so let's see what he can do from there. He's a mad, strong peddler on that Mondraker bike, this fella.
Lets it run.
23 years old. What's Split 2 going to tell us? He's going to be faster, isn't he? Yes, he is. 1.3 up then.
Oh, this is a really, really good run. This is probably the most, stable, technically good race run that we've seen so far.
And he made time last year on his way to 5th here on the pedaling section at the bottom. Had a 3rd as well in Guanajuato. So one of street racing's big dogs, this man.
Low off of that wall ride again, shaving off distance everywhere that he can. He knows that that's the name of the game. Taking as much speed around the shortest possible route.
Whistling down here, just letting the heart rate come down a little bit through these turns. Oh, and good through there as well. Big gear on the way out. And now he's got it spinning. He's up by 2 seconds now. So this is fast, and it will be Borber's actually qualifying time as well if he carries on like this. Putting some real pressure on those 5 riders left at the top.
Yeah, and he looks composed still. He doesn't look tired or anything, but we know that Laurent, if he can be in touch with Laurent down at the bottom, this is going to be an amazing run.
Listen to the Chilean crowd then. Here comes Felipe Gato. Surely he's going to go fastest. He does. 1.6 into the green. It's a massive run. And Gato takes the lead here in Valparaiso. Listen to the crowd.
What a run. That is just amazing that he makes it look like he's riding on dirt. It didn't look like he's struggling for traction. It doesn't look like he's getting bucked around. Watch him on these stairs. Like I said, picking the bike up where he needs to, getting really low so he doesn't get air time off the end of the stair set, and then putting the bike right at the back of the stair set so he can get pumps and get braking where he needs to. That's a masterclass in how you ride an urban race.
He delivered everything this Chilean crowd wanted. They'll be happy to see someone from the home nation leading. 5 riders to go. Johannes Fischbach, Camilo Sanchez, Thomas Slavic, last year's winner, a man chasing history here today. If he can get that 4th win to equal the 2 riders that have done it in the past, Antonio Leva and Philip Polt, then it's Sebastian Holgin and Lucas Borber to finish.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And now things are going to rev right up. Because now they know what they got to do. They know the time has been smashed.
That's right. I mean, in qualifying, we had, it was really tight between 5th and 10th were separated by a second, and then 5th and 1st were separated by less than 2 seconds.
That's it, exactly. The first man to break the 2:19 barrier today. Smashing qualifying time. Let's hear from him.
What a run.
Nunes there, Paez, Nicholas, rounding out the top 5, but this race now. It's come along. Now it's come to life.
Well, we're getting into the riders that are specialists. Like I said, you watch Felipe
or South American.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's totally right.
Same thing.
So here's Mateus Nunes, and I mean you can see the difference in riding style. The way that he's riding on the track, and it was an amazing run from him. But like we said, there is a technique that you have to master. Deliberately putting your bike where you want it. This is Adrian Laurent. Had that awesome last split, riding the downhill bike. Getting a little bit wide there.
Whoa.
And then again, sliding out there, you could see just holding on to it. It's amazing that he was able to do that.
I mean, I'm trying to think what happens if you come off that reinforced part of the roof. You can literally fall straight through that roof into that family's front room, ruining their Sunday dinner.
Totally. Yeah, man, Felipe at every moment, I love watching him ride, and also at the
Felipe,
jumps.
you just came down and straight into the hot seat. Are you happy how you were with your race run?
I'm very happy because I so emotional in the start because I'm working hard for this one. Hope so win, but yeah, I'm so sorry guys, but yeah, feel very good.
We can see how much this means to you. Do you think your time will hold?
My time?
Yeah, ¿crees que tu tiempo va a alcanzar para el podio?
I hope so. The race never ends. And the last one of the racers is the finish line. I don't know. I think yes. I'm trying to win my best.
Thanks so much, Felipe. Let's see the last 5 routers come down.
Yeah, let's see them indeed. It's amazing to see. You know, that's what we're talking about. That's what it means.
Yeah.
These guys.
He put his heart and soul. You could tell that he put his heart and soul into that run.
Absolutely did. There's your 5 less to come then. Lucas Borber, the last to drop. The next to drop will be Johannes Fischbach. And you might have a good look at his bike. Right in for the gas bicycles now. The motorcycle manufacturer who've moved into e-bikes. They haven't actually made a normal bicycle yet. So he's removed the battery. The engine is just a plastic cover, actually. There's no engine on this bike. It's an unelectrified e-bike.
Yeah, no battery, no motor.
Is on. No battery, no motor. The winner here in 2016, the last time anyone really won between Slavic and Ferreira's dominance on this track. Oh, loose through there. Big one. Oh, Fischbach goes down hard.
Yeah, man, and you saw his back end just come out of there, got a little bit over the front, just couldn't get enough speed to hop off of that.
Well, no, a proper over the bars for Johannes Fischbach. Oh, what a shape for him. 35 years old now. As we said, the winner here in 2016.
Yeah, that is I mean, we talk so much about it, about how you go from this incredible intensity right out of the gate to having to shut it down, find your breaking point. And I think, I mean, even that is an example of just missing your breaking point just slightly. Came in just a little bit hot, had to shift the back end out to try to get slowed down, but then, you know, got him off rhythm into that drop.
Horrible to see. Medical teams will be with him. But a man who really can do anything. 9th at Downhill World Championships back in 2013 as well. Comes from the world of four-cross. Red flags out. We've got a course hold. Well, we turn to Johannes Fischbach here.
Yeah, and Johannes he's been around for a long time. I mean, he was rivals with Thomas Slavic, like you were saying, the four-cross world tour, and then, you know, he's been in the downhill circuit forever, getting that top 20 actually in 2017 at Mount St. Anne at the Downhill World Cup. And you can see the emotion on Felipe's face.
Still, yeah, it's just, I just love it. This is why we love this street racing in this part of the world.
It, yeah.
No one else can do it quite like the South Americans.
No. Because it does. It means so much, and it feels
difficult. Well, you know, Elliot, for a lot of these riders to get to get to Europe, to get to the Northern Hemisphere, to compete in our established World Cup series, what have you, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Colombians really, I know that, you know, Juan Favelas, Camilo Sanchez really struggle to get visas actually to go a lot of places.
Well, I mean, I was on the Giant Factory off-road team with Marcelo Gutierrez, and the amount of work that he would have to do, the whole entire team had to write in and write reference letters for him every single year.
Is that how it was?
Yeah, you had a stack of papers, a visa to every single country. So if we go somewhere for 3 days, that's a visa.
Wow.
If he's got to be in America, that's a visa. So, I mean, it is amazing. You can see the distribution of talent all over the world. There's talent everywhere.
And we're on a course hold here. If you just joined us at Red Bull Valparaiso, Johannes Fischbach just crashing out. The medical teams are with him. He's receiving the best medical attention, and we'll update you as soon as we can with his condition.
Adrian, you're currently in 2nd place. Are you happy how your race run went?
Of course, it's always super cool to complete a decent run here in the final, and it's one of the hardest things to do also, I think, in mountain biking, so pretty happy about my performance today.
And last year we've seen you crash, really unfortunate crash. Were you thinking about this when you came down today, or wasn't this on your mind at all?
I would say it was there for the trainings, but I just tried to reset for the final, and I was really focused, and every single corner I was passing through, it was something else for me, and I really enjoyed my ride.
And tell us a little bit about the conditions today. It's super hot. How does this affect the racetrack?
We've been training with cloudy weather, which is much easier, like the asphalt and all the surfaces are more grippy. And we got the sun just for qualies, and now it's super hot and very slippery, so of course it's a big factor. And I assume, like, since I've been here a few times, I was aware about it, but it's always hard to deal with it.
And in 2 weeks we'll have the Red Bull Guanajuato Cerro Abajo. Will we see you race there as well?
Oh, for sure. By the way, I was trying to play it safe because I really want to do well in this series. I'm a bit older now, not that crazy anymore, and I just want to be consistent, so I will be there for sure.
Perfect. Looking forward to see you there. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you.
Yeah,
great to hear from Adrian Laurent there.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to. You can tell how much he loves it, right? Like, as soon as Anna mentioned that series, and Felipe, this is great.
This is amazing, isn't it? On the phone, in tears, leading. There's 5 riders left, 4 riders now left at the top. And the emotion is just destroying him down there.
He should be so proud, though. Like, that run, when he watches that back, he will be. That's what he's been training for. Like I said, I mean, I've been watching him. You look at his Instagram. Him and his crew. They literally find the gnarliest sections they can and session them, walking up, pushing up, riding down, taking those risks so that when he comes here, he's prepared. That stuff.
And it must make a difference. I know that Adrian Laurent rides a lot with Thomas Slavik, the 3-time winner here, and for Europeans to come down here and be competitive is incredible.
That's right.
Because this is South America sport.
Yeah.
But it's saying that last year Barcelona opened up endless possibilities. I'm not sure what the pedestrians of Barcelona thought of that. But
so here's that run from Felipe. Like I said, I think just watching how strong he is as well, you can kind of tell, like, he's not getting moved around on the bike, so he's really stable.
Bruni-esque.
Like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Loic Bruni rides his bike.
Like, it doesn't look like you can, and also he's able to run a stiffer setup, so you don't see the suspension getting super low or anything like that, and that's really hard to do. You have to be really stable to run that stiff setup, really fast rebound. To come into sections like that, you have to run a stiff front end. Knees in, really like strong. So I didn't really see, any mistakes on this run.
5th time here, and his best performance today. It's going to be 5th last year. Yeah, that was his best. Using the guttering there, using the curbs to turn off maybe.
And I think you can also tell, one thing we always talk about is that the best riders make up most of their time on the easiest sections. And so those kind of transition points, maybe cutting off a couple meters here and there, stuff like this. Trying to stay inside, get a little bit of rest. Go a little bit lower on the wall ride. And so one of the things I saw that he did right here was actually come into this turn a little bit lower, so he didn't hop up on the curb there, so opting to tuck. Comes into this turn a little bit further inside, brakes, and then is in a really hard gear. So we've seen some people slide out there. That was what Adrian Laurent was talking about, where he mentioned that traction. So it's not just the traction.
Totally affected.
Yeah.
Totally affected the way the grip from the tarmac.
Well, I think that's kind of the high-level stuff that you would think about. It's not just laterally, but he's in that hard gear so he can get traction with the pedals as well.
Yeah. A brilliant run then. Fast took the lead with it. Quickest time of the day as well, quicker than the qualifying.
awesome.
The man from Santiago, enjoying every minute of sitting in that hot seat this afternoon. Well, we're on a course hold. We've just seen Johannes Fischbach go down. The medical teams are with him. We'll keep you updated with any news we receive about his condition right at the top of the track.
Yeah, that was a hard crash. I hope he's doing all good.
There's the port of Valparaiso.
At the event, how are you liking it so far?
No, I love it. Valparaiso is such an amazing city. I am training here near the coast, and I say, why not to stop by? So I have good friends, good memories, and I just like it here. So the vibe is very good, the crowd, and I hope this victory stays in Chile. So yeah, hoping for the best. Yeah.
And you've seen a couple of race runs now. Could you ever imagine to ride this track?
Actually, I love to do enduro and downhill. I did it when I was a kid, so in a few races, if I quick a little bit cross country, I will be here for sure. So I need to get on and train, but I love it. I would love to do it, actually, yeah.
So you're saying you would ride an urban downhill race?
Yeah, because I think you need to do the jumps, but you need to also pedal a lot. So that's a thing, I'm good at it. So I think I can maybe put a round down, so it will be nice to race it, yeah.
And tell us, the World Cup is starting in a couple of weeks. How are you currently preparing for it?
I am actually here in Chile because it's hot. We can train a lot. Europe now is full winter, so yeah, from here I go to Brazil. So it's nice to train here with my people, and yeah, we need to put some watts now this season, so yeah, let's see.
Very nice. And where are you off to next?
Next, we are going to the Nationals, but then we go to Brazil, the first 2 rounds of the World Cup. So that's the main event, and of course it's Olympic year, so we are pretty busy with everything, but yeah, let's see.
We wish you all the best for the World Cup this year, Martin. Thanks for the interview.
An under-23 cross-country world champion, saying that did I hear him right?
Wait, no.
He's taking part next time.
You know, it's funny. We did an interview with Tom Pidcock on the Red Bulls Just Ride podcast, and Tom was saying as well that he was like, yeah, I think I can do downhill. I feel like get the cross-country athletes
Let's
in
bring
here,
it.
you know?
I don't think anyone's going to take much time out of either of those guys on any of the pedaling sections, that is for certain. But great to see Vidara. Spends most of his time actually in Europe, but down here, as he said, getting ready for the first cross-country World Cup of the year. Red flag still.
Really,
Any news we have, we will bring you on Johannes Fischbach. The medical teams are with him. There he is then, okay. So taking no chances.
yeah, that's good. I mean, it's good to see him conscious on talking there. So get well soon, Johannes. Wishing you all the best.
And we'll keep you updated if we do hear anything on his condition. Yeah, best wishes to Johannes Fischbach. And the racing will resume too. Don't forget, 3 weeks' time, we go to Guanajuato in Mexico for round 2, and then in October to an undisclosed location in Italy.
Well, it's almost like the World Cups now, where you can't announce the tracks too early, because then people get, you know, they go and train there and stuff like that as well.
Well, good afternoon then. To be a Chilean fan, 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 8th and 10th, all taken by the home nation here at Red Bull Valparaiso Cerro Abajo. A 2:18.8 is the time to beat by Felipe Aguerto, the man from Santiago, around an hour and a half away. Is he going to get his hands for the first time on the trophy, or will it be one of the 4 remaining riders? Lucas Borba will be the last to drop, the fastest qualifier. Sebastian Olgin, watch out for him, been doing massive things this year in the dirt and on the streets here. Thomas Slavik, a 3-time winner. And of course, the next man to go, the winner of the final race of 2023 in this series, a man who can, from Colombia, Camilo Sanchez. And there is Felipe Aguerto leading at the moment. We're on with him.
See that trophy, super cool.
Yeah, that's a nervous man, right?
Yeah,
now.
that is a nervous man. It was our top 3 with Diaz Nunez. Good run from him. He's been in the hot seat for a little bit now. Stoked with that top 10 at worst.
Timing up the Bugatti stairs just beautifully. That stutter you get when you land slightly off axis, off line, and they just the back wheel starts overtaking you. Never a good feeling.
I laugh at Adrian said that, you know, I'm Rotch right here. I'm not taking too much risk, you know. I'm just being chill.
Yeah, look at that. Jumps up onto the roof, pushed up against the edge of the support.
Right.
I think Adrian's risk-taking in ours might be a bit different. But this man leads then. Filippo Gatto. An absolutely mesmerising run down here.
God, this is like, everything he did was wildly good.
Yeah, that's right. Everything he did looked just so deliberate.
Yeah,
to
well,
me.
I always think, you know, whether he wins or not, a style like that, you can add more speed to it. So he'll just keep getting better and better. He's not at the edge of his technique or anything like that. So we've got Camilo Sanchez that I'm super excited to see. I know he's been training really hard this offseason.
Certainly has, yeah. Paquito, the next man to drop. Had a massive crash, actually. If you have a look at Camilo Sanchez's Instagram account, you'll see it in Peru. In an outdoor, in a dirt race, normal downhill, overshooting that landing ramp. I've never in my life.
Yeah. Wait, was that him?
That was him. That was him. Yeah, in Peru. I've never seen anything like it. Have you?
Yeah, that was wild.
I said, "Were you okay?" He was like, "Yeah, absolutely fine." I don't know how.
Yeah, you guys should have to check that out.
I don't know
it's actually insane.
Well, superstar down the bottom. Everyone wants a photo with Agurta this afternoon.
And it's packed now. One of the, I think South America and South American fans they're so passionate. I mean, here is, you never really felt like that as an athlete. You talk to any of the World Cup riders when they come here, as soon as you leave the track, they know everything about it. They're, you know, super knowledgeable, super into the sport.
Perfect climate here.
And there's really, I think, one of the big things that's been going on lately is just that Santiago, there's a bike park here that's really been blowing up. A couple of the women riders, you know, I know Vaya Berbic was down here training, and so it's kind of becoming one of those spots where...
And here is the next man to drop then, from Manizales in Colombia.
Hola, bueno, mi estrategia para este domingo, para este fin de semana, es aprovechar esa parte superior al máximo, que es donde mejor me va, y darlo todo en la parte final, que es el pedaleo, que ahí tenemos buenos compañeros que tienen un buen físico, pero también aprovecharlo de nosotros y darlo todo.
Give it all, he will then. Fourth here the last 2 years, but looking for much, much more this afternoon. Camilo Sanchez, a 2:21. He's going to need to take around 3 seconds off that if he wants to go fastest. And I know he can.
That's right. Oh,
what?
Over jumping straight out of the gate.
Eager off in these first turns, of course.
Really nicely there. So he said it himself. He needs to make up time on this key section.
Here he comes then down the Bugatti stairs. Timing it up perfectly so far. Plenty of support for him as well here.
And there it is.
Oh, and he's up by half a second, yes. So, looking good there. And on an enduro bike as well, so he should have the advantage from here on down, really, right. You would think.
He needs to, again, like, calm it down a little bit, put the power down on the pedals, calm it down into these turns, make sure he brakes early, let off the brakes early.
Yeah. Tiptoeing perfectly around that right-hander and into the left as well. The winner of the finals in Guanajuato last year. Second overall in the series, split 2 coming up. And he goes further into the green, extends, point at 8 now. Wow, this is a big run from Camilo Sanchez.
No, did he get a flat? I saw him stand up a bit.
It's done.
Oh.
It's over. Oh, heartbreaking stuff.
Oh, way, rear flat.
Oh, what a shame then for Paquito. on the fastest run of the day. Yeah, it's over.
Oh no!
Must be a flat.
I saw him lift up. Just coming out of that turn, there's 3 steps out of all the steps. It's 92 or something like that in the Magashi stairs, and there's 2 coming out of that turn, and that's where he got the flat.
No. 605 steps approximately on the whole course.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, bad luck for Camilo Sanchez. Remember, Velez not here either, so...
Oh, he was on a great run.
This man breathes, lives another day. Felipe Agata, your leader at the moment.
Yeah, he's only one rider away from getting that podium.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But there's some very, very fast riders. The 3 fastest qualifiers left at the top. Thomas Slavic, the next to drop in then. 3 times a winner here. 36 years old now. Last year's winner. After taking a trip to hospital after qualifying, with ligament damage in his ankle, he manned up, came back and won. Incredible scenes.
Yeah,
I get the feeling he knows how to race this track, Elliot.
He was the emotional one last year. Said it was one of the most important. Oh, the chain! His chain's gone. Oh my goodness.
Oh no! The drama unfolded here.
Well, he knows there's nothing you can do. I mean, even just making it off of drops like that, straight away. Oh
my goodness! Mechanicals then robbing the last 2 riders.
Wow, what?
I thought he'd unclipped. The chain was gone, and he has to stop. You need a pedal stroke.
Yeah, you have to go.
Pick the front up off there. You can't ride this track with no chain. Forget it.
I mean, as a racer, you want to go, and then you think about it for 2 seconds, and there's, I mean, a race like this, there's nothing you can do.
Well, that is devastating for Thomas Slavic.
Yeah, that is
and that puts a very different twist on this year's series as well.
Right.
Who we're looking at for the overall.
Yeah, I mean, Slavic was probably putting out over 2,000 watts, 2,500 watts coming out.
Oh, no doubt about that. Well, what it does mean is that we are going to have a brand new winner.
That's right.
Of Red Bull Valparaiso, Cerro Abajo, someone who's never won it before. It might be Felipe Agata, it might be Sebastian Holgen, it might be Lucas Borba. It's going to be one of those 3 now with the 2 left at the top as we watch. Thomas Slavic, one of the big contenders here, last year's winner, looking for that 4th win to match Philip Polk and Antonio Lever, the 2 guys that have done it. 20th running of this race this year. Let's have a look at this.
2 or 3 pedal strokes in. 1, 2, right there.
Bang! Done. It's over. Just like that. Why does it happen in a finals race?
I know, of all the places. Well, the last 2 riders, I mean, we were talking a little bit about him in the pre-show, but Sebastian Holgen is just I can't wait to see this run. I can't wait to see him be at the limit, because another rider like Felipe that is just so technically good on the bike, on these urban races. This thing is definitely not over yet.
No, it's not. Holgen came close as well. Very close to winning in Medellin last year. At the Cerro Abajo there, came 2nd. Well, big opportunities for riders now. Is it going to be Felipe Agata that wins his first Red Bull Valparaiso? Is it going to be Sebastian Holgen? Or will it be Lucas Borba, the last to drop? You can just see his handlebars there on the left. Waiting for Thomas to get off the track.
That's funny.
Did that sound bad?
It's just like he's a lapper.
Excuse me. I didn't need to disrespect the 3-time winner of this event, believe me.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, a much more slow, taking in the scenery rundown than he would have wanted this afternoon.
And I'm just looking at the live timing here. I mean, I know we saw it on the stream, but Camilo Sanchez was 0.8 up. So we know that there's more time in the track. I wouldn't be surprised if we see under a 118, maybe even under a 117.
Yeah, it's going to take something special though.
Yeah.
That's a good solid time, that 218. It was a 2:16 actually, 0.8 that won last year.
Really?
And they say the track's unchanged.
Yeah.
But of course, everything changes.
That's right.
Because they only built it this morning. But you know, it's basically very similar.
We have.
Yeah, there is probably a bit more time up there, Elliot.
We have one new feature this year, which is the jump that we saw Pedro. The toboggan over.
Viene a saludar a quienes están liderando.
Well, not Thomas Slavic's first rodeo. He knows the highs and lows of racing.
Yeah.
3 times a 4-cross, UCI 4-cross world champion as well. Oh.
Yeah, he would have gone.
But that is not how he wanted this series to start.
No. Go through all the emotions as they're going down the track, the stages of grief.
Okay, 2 to go. Just joined us. Sebastian Holguin then. Another Colombian from Manizales as well. Here we go then, 2:20 in qualifying. Let's see what he can do in this finals run. His first time here. And he was right up to speed in a couple of runs last night down the Pegaso stairs. Look at that.
That is wild.
At a race in Guanajuato a few weeks ago, this man was on everybody's lips, saying just how quick he's going. Perfect down there. Oh my goodness! Brushing the pedals on the wall. And he's fastest by 0.63. It's massive then, the top section. Quickly through the blue house.
This guy is wild. He's able to take these tight lines somehow, getting traction where nobody else is. Still composed after going down that section so fast.
Unbelievable, just 19 years old. Gonna need to get on the pedals everywhere as well. Runs it to the curb there, perhaps a little wider than he'd have wanted. Slides on the way out as well, right at the edge of the traction. Split 2, what's he gonna be? 103 for Gatto. He's up by 1.5 seconds. On 101 then. Oh, so Holguin delivering what we thought he might.
On the limit, the perfectly finding exactly where he needs to be. Watch him scrub some of these stairs, picking up where nobody else is, taking a little pedal stroke there.
Oh, goes down hard. Oh, he came right out the top of that wall ride. Oh my goodness me. A big hit then for Sebastian Holguin. Medical team immediately to him. Elliot, he got loaded up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a section that you don't even think about. I mean, he was probably already, his mind was probably on the next section.
Man, this is crazy.
What is going on?
This is crazy this afternoon. Even more than our expectations were, right?
Goodness gracious.
He's up to his feet. Thank goodness for that.
What a...
Holguin was on one as well.
Rough run.
Gato now, from Chile, is one rider away from winning Red Bull Valparaiso. That's incredible.
If he wins...
I don't know what's going to happen. I dread to think. What's going to happen? Only Lucas Bourbon out at the top can stop him. The Brazilian down in national champion. Let's talk about Holguin though, because that was...
He was 1.4 up.
That was phenomenal, wasn't it?
That
1.4 up, Elliot.
I'm glad. I know he's probably really sore right now, but I'm really glad that he's not more injured, hopefully, because I want to see him race the rest of this year. You can see he broke his shifter off there.
Oh, he went down hard. Actually won the Habano Manizales race earlier this year, so he's got good form on the concrete.
He is technically the best rider I've ever seen on Earth.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And that is saying something when you look at Sanchez, Velez and Thomas, what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Well, he has made it to the bottom, not in the fashion he wanted and not with the time he wanted, but it was going so well. for Sebastian Olguin. And now that man there in yellow, Felipe Aguirre, is one rider away from winning his first Valparaiso.
Actually, he sets up wide, just not really even thinking about it, and just pulls a little bit early.
Just kind of got stood up out of it a little early.
Like, there's right at the end, it kind of, you have a little bit of a kink. And so imagine just as it as a sideways jump, if you pull a little bit early, your back end will get loaded up and kind of buck you, and that's all that happened. I mean, for these riders, one of the obstacles that you probably think about the least.
Absolutely. So, Chile lead, and it's this man next from Brazil.
Mi estrategia es ser lo más posible rápido, ahí hacer los saltos bien hechos, todo, y en MotoGP muy bajo para que sea más aerodinámico y poner mucha más velocidad.
Whatever he does this afternoon, it's got to be fast then. From Rio do Sol, 29 years old. And without a doubt, one of the biggest race runs of his life. The two-time Brazilian national champ of downhill. 7th here last year. What can he do then? The fastest qualifier is on track. And this is going to be explosive, I get the feeling.
Oh,
beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, super tight on the exit. Hard pedals into the Bugatti stairs now. Olguin's still the fastest there with that 11.3. Downhill bike making life a little easier on this part of the track.
And he's up. He's up.
Clock. He's up. Well,
I'm holding my breath on this run, because as soon as he gets past that top stuff, like he said, his strategy is just to pedal and stay low on the bike. We know he's got this really still style. The split 2 is going to tell us how good. Taking a foot off.
Massive margin though. Massive margin at split 1. Nearly half a second, Elliot. It's huge. What's split going to tell us that he looked good through those flat turns?
Oh, I think
those crucial flat turns. He's on the gas again.
He's a second up.
Yeah, second up now. So further into the green then for Lucas Borba. Oh, landing on the brakes there.
We know Felipe didn't let up the whole way down though.
That big pedaling's going to be so important into the MotoGP section now. He's got to let it run where he can. Perfect across there. Again on the gas, hard down here.
Tucking, just like he said, he's executing his strategy perfect so far.
4th in the series last year, so a big hitter at street racing. Tricky left-hander coming up, here it is.
We heard him say that he had more time after qualifying at the bottom. Now he has to lay it on the line, empty the tank.
Oh, and he's lost half a second then between those last 2 splits. 56 kilometers on the clock.
Oh, he needs to keep pedaling.
Yeah, I agree. Perhaps not the quickest entrance into that last
It's not the best split. It's not the best last split we've seen.
Is it going to be Felipe Aguirre, the Chilean rider? Is it going to be this man from Brazil? Tucks as he comes down the line. I'm not sure he can afford to do that. Here comes Lucas Borba, and he goes fastest. Look at the time. Lucas Borba wins Red Bull Valparaiso Cerro Abajo. That was incredible, Elliot, on the bottom section.
He left it. He left no margin of error. He had an amazing top section, but at the bottom, he didn't have the strength, but he had really done what he needed to do at the top, and that got him through.
It was the perfectly composed run. Didn't overdo it. Amazing up top, like you said, down the Bugatti stairs.
I mean, I would really...
Felipe Aguirre's dream has just been snatched from him,
right.
The Chilean rider.
I think it's funny too, because before all of that drama,
Thomas Slavic in there. The Commencal rider, though, has done it.
Yeah, before all the drama, I mean, Felipe would have been so stoked. But then, like you said, it feels like it's gotten ripped away. And we can see right here on the key section, that is where he made up his time, right there and right in split 2. So from the house down to right after the wall ride was where Borba made up all of his time. And he left it as close as you could possibly
What
get.
a wacky race that was this afternoon. Absolutely crazy. Our wishes go out to Johannes Fischbach, who we saw take a big one. But it's Lucas Borba from Brazil, from Rio do Sul, that takes the win here, opens up this series. We can't wait to see what he can do in just 3 weeks' time in Guanajuato, Mexico.
And like we were talking about it in the pre-show, we saw that spark last year. We saw that run that he put down, even though he didn't win. We saw that he had the talent, he had the skill. He's obviously been working hard over the off-season.
Definitely. Amazing. Well, qualified second here last year as well, actually. So, you know, he knows how to go fast on this track.
Well, I mean, it's too, dropping last is, it's no joke. You have to get used to the feeling of being alone at the starting gate.
Yeah, it's a different thing, isn't it?
Especially at a race this big.
Well, if you wondered if we race down public streets, there's your answer.
We'll try to go up to the top and everything was closed. They ended up just going home. I was gonna walk the track. There's no way.
No other way out. A great afternoon's racing here for round 1. Here's the winner.
Came here third, but this time you'll leave with a win. How satisfied are you? How happy are you to win here today? Tercer lugar, el último año, pero esta vez vas a salir y ganaste aquí. ¿Qué tan feliz estás?
Hoy estoy demasiado contento. Poner mi bandera de Brasil ahí lo más alto posible, haciendo mi historia, la historia para Brasil. Así que me sentía muy cómodo todo el día ahí con la bici nueva, muy rico todo. Y ahí logré ser campeón hoy. Yo tenía eso, el otro año me quedé tercero, pero sabía que podría ganar. Tengo la receta ahora de los otros años, sé qué hacer y hoy logré y estoy muy contento.
Well, he says he couldn't be happier to win here. He was third last year, but this time he'll leave with a win, and he was feeling good all day. He knew he could do good today, and then he just went for it, and he won. Y Lucas, te vemos en México, ¿no?
Sí, seguro que sí.
¿Qué son tus expectaciones para ahí?
Ahí vamos, con todo, seguir entrenando, con fe, con humildad y hacer que lo que más me gusta, lo que amo es montar en mi bici y correr.
Very good. He just says he loves bike riding. He just loves racing. He'll be back for Mexico and he'll give it his all in Mexico.
You can see the emotion and how much this race means to the riders here.
Street races don't get much bigger
than
don't. Red Bull Valparaiso Cerro Abajo, that's for sure. Incredible setting, incredible track, incredible race. Just 0.18 then in it in the end to the Chilean rider, excuse me, Felipe Gerto Laron. He'll be happy enough with that.
Yeah.
1.7 back though. Those top two riders really in a league of their own.
Yeah, they were. And I mean, you know, three of the favorites with Johannes and Camilo and Thomas, those DNFs, but and Sebastian Oakland. I mean, this is going to be an amazing series. I'm going to look back at these top 3 runs. Adrian Laron putting down a solid run, like he said. He's going for the overall, so this puts him in the perfect spot, right where he wants to be, getting points here.
Especially with some, you know, the big established names having big issues today.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's really anyone's game at this point. Opens up the field. Felipe Gerta, I mean, he put down one of the most impressive runs. Technically good here. I mean, so strong. Executed exactly what he wanted to do. I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy ride the rest of the year. And I think he's just going to get better and better. Lucas Borba, though, taking taking the win. Just such a good run. I mean, to me, he really made it happen. That first right-hander that we talked about.
Yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
It was, and then he...
You know how crucial that part of the track is.
That's right. I mean, and he was able to make that transition between the technical into kind of that MotoGP section right after the big truck jump.
And let's be honest, if there's something that's going to make you feel good in a race run, it's nailing the first couple of turns.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? It's a completely different thing to blowing the first couple of turns.
Yeah, that's right.
And panicking
for
the rest of your run.
It sets the tone.
It does. It fills you with confidence.
Yeah.
I'm on one. This is good.
I mean, we saw Pedro, right? He had that mistake at the top and wasn't really able to get back into the rhythm.
That's right.
It's going to be a good evening for all of those boys. But I don't think they're going to rest too much, because I always think when you do well at a race, you just want to do well again, which means you train. If you didn't do well, you want to train because you want to do better.
That's going to be one heck of a series, this. Sanchez out with a flat tire. Remember, we're hopefully going to see Juan Favela, the series champion, back in a couple of weeks' time, 3 weeks' time in Mexico. He definitely brings something very special to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I love the personalities that we have shaping up, like we talked about. These riders that are really just putting every single thing they have into these street races. There we go.
Okay, top 3 presentation time.
Ahí la entrega Adrián, que ya conoce
all
muy
the way
bien
from
esta
France,
pista, ya
but
sabe
worth
qué es lo
the
que se
trip.
trata.
Adrian Laurent.
En segundo lugar,
big roar for this man then.
18 segundos
For about an hour and a half way in Santiago.
Top
de
Chilean
Chile.
rider. Hometown. Home country, I should say.
Yeah, Felipe Gatto. Came incredibly close today.
Yeah.
But looking, as he should, very, very happy with that result.
That's a run you can be proud of, for sure.
Y ahora, el ganador de la 20ª versión del Red Bull Valparaíso Cerro Abajo, con un tiempo de 2 minutos 18.674 milésimas de Brasil. Recibamos a Lucas de Borba.
But it is a Brazilian that ruined the Chileans' party this afternoon. Fantastic save. Take his first win here in Valparaiso.
En una final de infarto. Realmente 3 grandes ejemplos deportivos que tenemos acá arriba, liderando Brasil, Chile y Francia. Van los premios, va el reconocimiento, va la champaña y el aplauso.
Well, there's no getting away from the risk that does come with urban racing.
Arriba los brazos, arriba los brazos, antes de la champaña para que salgan ordenaditos. Arriba los brazos y el aplauso para los ganadores. Tremenda fotografía que tenemos con los mejores del planeta. Ahora sí, a celebrar como corresponde. Champaña para los ganadores. Sí, señor. Más fuerte el aplauso, Valparaíso. Tremendo, tremendo, tremendo el día que tuvimos hoy. Primer, segundo, tercer lugar. Primer lugar para Brasil, Chile, tercer lugar para Francia. Señoras y señores, en una jornada maratónica queremos saludar a todos los vecinos, a todo el público, que son miles, a todo el staff, a Procar Producciones, a todos los auspiciadores y por supuesto a la gran quinta región que sigue más fuerte que nunca. Un aplauso para la quinta región.
Championship standings, of course. Some points on offer, 10 for the win of qualifying. So Borba on a healthy 70 there, 60 for taking the race win, 10 for qualifying. 31 points up. That's massive when you look at it like that.
That is actually insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, I think we saw a couple of riders maybe chilling a little bit too much in qualifying, missing out on those 10 points. As we saw, anything can happen, so it's going to be an interesting.
Pump up your tires for the bike content on Red Bull TV. And check out the best live events, feature films, and shows. Download the Red Bull TV app for free. And sign in to watch all of our content offline. Download the app now.
Welcome to the video. This is Eric Fedko, and this is Emil Johansson.
Oh, I've heard about this.
We follow them as they go to different competitions, check out radical bike spots, and lay down dope bangers.
Great.
Some people think that Emil is an alien.
Sounds like being an alien is pretty good.
Holy shit. We hope you enjoy.
Raising the Bar. Now available on Red Bull TV.
Look up at the sky.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
This is definitely Chris. Hopefully that parachute works.
A behind the scenes about a mind-blowing project. Featuring Chris Kyle riding his bike in the sky.
It's something that has never, ever been attempted before.
Don't Look Down. Now available on Red Bull TV.
It's always a struggle out here. There's a big crowd. You've thought about this contest the whole life.
The bike events everyone talks about.
I'm going for Podium for sure.
It's more than just watching any championships.
Yeah! Let's go! Oh, and he stops it! Oh my gosh!
It's about progression, style, spirit, and community.
I don't know if I have to go as fast as I can or if I have to look like I'm fast.
And fast is fun.
360! Boys been top tower!
Here we go, we're off.
An incredible run!
Oh, mother! That was a good one.
Bike on Red Bull TV.
Definitely sending some healing vibes to the riders who crashed. With what mindset did you step into the starting hut today?
I was standing on the start. I knew that my qualification run, I didn't go that fast, and I did two big mistakes where I lost, I would say, like 2 seconds. So I was really happy about it, and I knew that I can still open the gas. And last year we did times.
Much work. They're already going. Put it in your pocket. Start.
Oh.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Valparaiso in Chile, where we've just had the first round of Red Bull Cerro Abajo for 2024. And wasn't it actually unbelievable to see Lucas Borba come down there, the Brazilian. He ruined the party for the Chileans a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
But what a run.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it so much in the pre-show about how impressive that run that he put down last year was, how composed he was. We knew that he had more speed in the tank. And so for him to do that, I have to say, though, I don't know if that would have held up to Camilo or Sebastian's.
No, I don't know either. It was a shame to see him. Velez, of course, was out as well. But so many incidents in that race. I mean, Felipe Gerto was almost the star of the show for me.
Yeah,
the emotion he showed,
He
second
was.
place finish for him this afternoon. The emotion he showed was incredible, wasn't it?
Well, I think there are rare times in a downhill rider's career where you have not so much a perfect run, but you execute every single thing that you wanted to kind of perfectly. There wasn't any big mistakes. You pushed as hard as you could. You took the risks that you wanted to. You were mentally there the entire time, just kind of firing off these lines that you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
So I think that, on top of it being a Chilean race, and then on top of it, you know, going into the hot seat, it's so good to see. You know what that feels like.
Time. I mean, immense pressure on all these riders. To me, it feels like, you know, in this, it's like cooker pressure down there. It's so intense riding. You don't get crowds like that. Well, World Cup races, that intensity, it must be unbelievable.
It's different here, the fans, because you're used to having people yell your name and things like that, but the fans, they are so passionate. You want to put on a show for them. You want to do your best for them. So I think,
you not?
Right?
How can you not? Everything is telling you to overdo it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't imagine what that's like as a South American rider.
That's right. Laurent from France. You know, Adrian putting back some big problems from here last week as we're looking now
at Luca's run.
Yeah, let's have a look at this winning run from Luca Borba. Incredible.
And we talked about it in the pre-show as well. He runs those wide bars, and so the kind of the stillness on the bike allows him to ride that top stuff really, really well. You know, I talked about kind of the rebound. You could kind of see it there. Him being able to get back to those high lines to cut off a lot of distance on these really wide turns. It's amazing to see, actually.
2 times Brazilian downhill champ, showing us what he can do in the concrete. And you know, we know, well, you raced here once, but we raced World Cup for a long time. We know how hard it is to put together a race run on dirt. I mean, arguably more variables, but then again, not really. Well, how do you think it compares to trying to put down a winning run on the tarmac?
I always say when people, you know, ask me, like, how do you get comfortable? How do you kind of get rid of that uncertainty, that unknown, the fear? And I think that you're seeing this new generation of urban racers train on urban racetracks.
Yeah, they
right?
do. They do.
When they leave here, they'll go back to their hometowns and they will find sections. You know, they get their crew. One person's at the top, one person's stopping traffic, and they do that. So, like I said, I watched Felipe Agurto, who you're seeing here, do that exact thing.
Look at him. As ever, the big staircase at the top, playing its part. That's so vertical off there into this. Through the blue house, absolutely lit up everywhere.
He's like the new like style cat. I love it. I love, like, you know, the knees in, the tucked in jersey. It looks so good. Like, you know, like
those
styling
things matter when they're going so fast.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Actually, a new rule brought in, incidentally, this year was the first time in his entire career that Thomas Slavic had to race in trousers. A new regulation.
Oh, really?
No more shorts.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
We were just looking at an old podium where everyone was in shorts, and now it's almost the opposite in downhill racing.
There'll be skin suits next. But it was a shame, wasn't it, to see Camilo Sanchez, I mean, one of the big pre-race favourites, go out with that flat tyre earlier.
I mean, and it's, to me, I would imagine that you would get flats all the time, you know.
But the Pagacha stairs, you'd imagine, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the first thing you learn when you're a kid.
Hammering down there.
Yeah, like the first thing you learn when you're a kid is, like, avoid sharp objects because you're just going to get a flat, and that's what we're racing down. So it's a bit unlucky, I think. You know, he made it down Pagacha stairs, like you said, and then on 2 steps into flat, he had that mistake. So we're seeing him here. He pushed really, really hard, and then there it is. You see him kind of just sit up, knowing that, you know, I don't want to go off of that drop with the flat tire.
Oh, I totally felt for him, did you?
Yeah, for sure.
And if we felt for this man as well.
It's just, I mean, you come out of the gate, and like you said, as soon as that happens, you're like, okay, maybe I can still do it. And you saw him kind of get back into race mode, and he's like, you know what, there's no way. I'm not going to risk it. It's a long season. This man as well. Just
that was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just so unfortunate. Like I said, something that, you know, most of these riders, even though it's a gnarly obstacle, but most of these riders, it's not the thing that they're going to focus on here. They can do it so easy. It's just maybe just a little bit of a lapse of concentration at the wrong part.
Yeah, absolutely, wasn't it? And mad. And we must give our thoughts out as well to Janis Fischbach, who showed us just actually how brutal street racing can be, right?
Yeah,
I mean, when it goes wrong, there is nowhere soft.
No.
You've got no chance.
No. Yeah, right. It's literally, you're not going to go into a pile of leaves, and I think it shows the margin for error as well, where you overshoot something, you miss a pedal stroke, and that's you done. You know, you're over the bars.
We talked a lot about, you know, just exactly how accurate you've got to be, precise you've got to be.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at Adrien Laron's run. Now that I think we've got it up, another third place for the Frenchman today.
Yeah, I mean, Adrien was one of those guys who, like you said, he's mature, he's old, if you will, quote unquote.
Older.
Yeah, right. But he let that experience come through, right? He didn't do anything crazy. We saw that kind of mistake right after the key section, right after the Bagacha stairs, and he was able to pull it back together. And you can see how much that run went to him.
And, you know, we know he loves South America. He spends a lot of time here. We know how hard he pushes. He crashed here. He crashed even worse, actually, at round 2 last year in the Medellin. Do you remember on that staircase? That's
right.
Yeah, so to see him put that behind him is incredible, isn't it?
For sure.
And, of course, this is a 3-round series. We go to Guanajuato in Mexico in just 3 weeks' time now. Not long, Elliot, before we're back on a jet. But I'm looking forward to that one. Another one I've never visited in the flesh. You've never been there either, I guess?
No, I was gone last year. And so I haven't commentated, I haven't been. We're going to be on site, which is amazing. Cannot wait to go to this race.
Oh, a very different track.
For sure. I mean, there's dirt. It's really, really technical. If this was fast, then
this one isn't built. Look at that staircase. It's frightening.
Yeah.
But this one isn't built in the morning. Actually, Ollie Wilkins, UK build team, are going to be over there end of next week starting to work on this thing. So it's a very different proposition to perhaps the wildness of this place, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it is. I love that we have these different tracks as well. It really does feel like a series. So I'm happy to go and like experience the rest of what street racing has to offer.
Bit more culture, bit more
for
colour.
sure.
It's going to be amazing. Well, Bike Unchained, the 3rd rendition of it is out now, and it's actually got a theme of this very racetrack behind us here. You can actually go on and throw yourselves pretty safely down these street tracks from the safety of your own bedroom.
I know, one of the things that's cool about this game actually is that they have these like weekly events. They're live, and so they're like you could go and race other people. And like you said, the tracks that we are going to on the series are actually in the game, which is pretty. Yeah, right.
Yeah, did you see that?
Well, yeah. Hopefully nobody. If I don't let me in there, because you won't. You definitely won't win if I'm competing. I'll tell you what.
All right. Well, we kicked off Red Bull Hardline last week. We kicked off Red Bull Cerro Abajo this week. And in just 2 weeks' time, we go to Crankworks. Their opening round in Rotorua. Brand new track there in the Whakariwa Forest, the Tanifard downhill. An incredible spectacle, massive gaps on it.
Yeah.
Rooney came and won last year. I mean, amazing at the downhill. And, of course, the slope style, nothing compares, does it?
Yeah, we just see the world's best competing on world-class tracks. It is always the opener of the year. It's the first big event of the year every year.
Absolutely, mate. It's been an incredible afternoon. I feel that this race delivered everything we expected it and more. The drama just didn't start coming start to finish, did it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I couldn't have asked for anything better. It's so amazing to be here. Thank you for all the fans who were just so warm and welcoming. I can't wait to come back. Can't wait to go to the rest of the series.
No, absolutely a brilliant place to be. Thanks to you for joining us at home. But from Valparaiso in Chile, goodbye.
Quieres pillarme la carrera y ni me ves. Voy a sonar por el mundo sin saber hablar inglés. ¿Sabes cuál es mi mejor aliado? 9,8 metros por segundo al cuadrado. Tú si vas cuesta abajo es porque todos dudan de ti. Yo si desciendo es para subirme al podio downhill. Algunos se suben a la tarima pero mira, creerse rapper por enlazar 4 rimas es como querer lograr tomando proteínas, lo que únicamente se consigue con disciplina. Downhill. Le he cogido el gusto a caer, todo por ganar y nada que perder. Si el primer acorde vienen con hambre de yo, vosotros seréis los perros, a mí llamadme Paulo. Si caes rápido es porque están hartos de tu frase. Yo si bajo rápido es porque mi meta está en la base. Y tengo claro que no compito contra ti, más bien contra tu miedo de verme competir. Algunos artistas de parvulario son la rueda de mi bici, no funcionan sin radio.